In today's video, we're going to be reacting to Why Does Everyone Hate Bucky? Now, this video is made by Timmy FNBR, who makes some amazing Fortnite documentaries. I will leave a link to his channel in my description below, and let's get into the video.
This is Bucky, one of the most controversial players that Fortnite has ever seen. He is talented.
Yup, I can agree with that.
Crazy.
He's a crazy man.
Sometimes just plain toxic.
I'm not a great warrior, bro.
Yes, you are, bro. You're horrendous, bro. You're horrendous, bro. You're horrendous. What's your best grade placement?
Ooh.
Exactly. Stay quiet.
Oh, and by the way, I actually got to interview Bucky himself for this video.
Yo,
nice.
What's up, Timmy?
And he's going to be answering questions that he's never been asked before.
Nice.
I've never told this to anyone.
So stick around to see what
What's gonna
Fortnite's
happen?
most controversial player has to say for himself.
Bucky.
Without further ado, this is the entire story of Bucky. Logan Eschenberg, also known as Bucky FPS, made his first earnings in Fortnite on March 31st of 2019 in the Lux Cup. At barely 15 years old, him and his duo placed 5th in NA East, which earned them $1,000 each. Although this isn't huge compared to what he would later go on to earn, this was really motivating for a young teenager like Bucky. And things were about to get a whole lot better. Because in June of 2019, Epic Games was set to host the Fortnite World Cup.
Nice.
This was a $30 million prize pool
40 million.
tournament,
Sorry, Timmy, I had
and
to
all
correct you
players
there.
would be flown out to New York City to play in person. Epic Games held 10 weeks of open qualifier matches,
That's
allowing
insane.
players from all over the world to compete for their spot. And then in week
Yeah, I would've
5,
won.
Bucky placed 7th in the NA East solo finals, which secured him a spot in the massive New York City tournament.
Nice,
And perhaps
dude.
even more exciting for Bucky, he had recorded the entire thing. You see, as
Ooh.
much as Bucky wanted to be a professional gamer, perhaps even more so, he wanted to be a content creator
Right.
and entertain people. So he posted a video called How My Dad Qualified Me for the World Cup.
Oh yeah, his dad coached him.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I won.
That's so cool, man.
Let's go!
Here, Bucky not only showcases his incredible skills to qualify for the World Cup, but also his down-to-earth and really kind personality.
Nice.
You just chill, play safe, because top 15. Like it'll give you a shot to making top 6 with just the placement points and the kills you got.
As you can see
Nice,
from that
dude.
awesome
What a good
video,
dad.
his dad was calling out enemies, helping him strategize, and even breaking down the tournament points. Considering most parents have no idea what Fortnite even is at this point, this was a super cool clip. So I had to ask Bucky how this came to be.
Obviously, like, one of the ways you first blew up was that video you posted with your dad coaching you to the World Cup qualifier.
Yeah.
I was just interested, like, was your dad a gamer? Like, did he know, like, what was going on? Or did he, like, learn about Fortnite just to, like, coach you? Or did he normally coach you? Like, what was that all about?
Yeah, so we
That's so
didn't
cool.
have that much like similar interests because you know he's older, not into video games, stuff like that. He really took like passion in Fortnite and started like hardcore learning about it. He would sit behind me during tournaments and stuff when I lived with him, and he got
That's cool.
super into it. Actually learned all the guns and everything like that. My duo didn't qualify for the round 2. And I always liked having someone in the call just to keep myself like calm and everything. So I texted my dad and I was like, if you know how to work Discord, hop on Discord, keep me calm while I'm playing. And the rest is history from there.
That's
Perhaps just as
crazy.
sweet
That's so
was at the
sweet
end of the
too.
video where you can hear Bucky's mom come into the room and let's just say things got emotional.
Hey, that's awesome. So sad. Come here,
Oh,
baby.
Happy Mother's Day. You're the best mom. I can't believe I did.
Oh my god.
it was Mother's Day too. What the heck?
I knew it.
And speaking of heartwarming
Yeah, I'm
moments
about to
with
tear up.
moms, I actually have a message from my mom. Hey guys, this is Timmy FNBR's mom. Please subscribe. Thanks for the shout out, Mom.
That's
but
probably the
we gotta get back to the video.
cringiest shit I've ever seen in
Bucky
my life.
uploaded this video on May
Whatever that is
15th
to me.
of 2019, and it went viral. At the time, parents generally viewed video games as a waste of time and money.
Right.
So seeing someone's parents support a kid's love for the game was almost unheard of, and
Dude,
it was
absolutely.
heartwarming to say the least. This video showcased a very different kid than the outgoing and sometimes cocky Bucky that we see today.
True,
and
true.
if you want to see what happened that caused this big shift in personality from Bucky, You'll need to keep watching to the end of this video. Unfortunately
me.
for Bucke, he didn't do so well in the World Cup, and he placed 64th out of 100. However,
Okay.
this still earned him $50,000.
That's insane.
Which is not only a huge amount of money for anybody, let alone a 16-year-old.
For
I
real.
asked Bucke what winning this kind of money at a young age felt like, and this is what he had to say.
It was so life-changing because I was like broke, you know what I mean? Like, I really went all in with it. I took out my whole entire college fund. I invested in like a PC and everything like that. Shout out to my mom.
Also, before we keep
That's
going, I do have to
crazy.
say thank you to Bucke for being so open and honest in this interview, because let's just say later on, it's going to get a lot more interesting.
Okay.
Dude, I've never told this to anyone. We're not the most likable people. The biggest regret of my entire, like, that was by far, like, getting kicked off that flight.
Take me back to when you and Creo
Oh, no.
got banned in 2020. What actually happened?
But for now, let's get back to the video.
No.
Following the World Cup, Bucke kept practicing to get better and better at Fortnite.
Right.
He participated in every FNCS, Cash Cup, and other event possible. And in just 2019, Bucke made over $100,000
Oh my
in total
gosh, that's
earnings.
crazy.
Unfortunately, however,
Okay.
this success would come to a screeching halt.
Oh god.
That's because in March of 2020, Bucke was banned from Fortnite
Oh.
along with his duo partner Creo and
Oh.
another duo Slacks and Keys. The 4 players were accused of keying
Oh, yeah,
by
yeah,
Twitter
yeah,
user
yeah.
Droxide. The video shows both duo teams working together during multiple games across different FNCS weeks. After Epic Games saw this evidence, all 4 players were banned for 60 days, which prohibited Bucke from playing in the rest
Dang,
of the
60
FNCS
days is
Chapter 2
insane.
Season 2 duos. The reactions to Bucke's response were mixed. A lot of people, including Clicks, thought that Epic Games suspended him too fast and didn't give the 4 players enough time to defend themselves.
Oh.
But many other pro players and Twitter users were quick to say that cheating is cheating, even if he
No,
didn't
it's
do
true.
it on purpose.
Yeah,
so
facts.
I asked Bucke about the ban so we could hear in his own words what actually happened.
After the 4 years that have gone by, would you have done the same things, or how would you have acted differently?
I think I was ahead of the meta. I think me and Creo were very ahead of the meta. We were creating the meta. We were in, you know, somewhere where you have infinite shield, and it's basically the biggest meta right now. And I think if you take someone like Bucke or someone who did that back then, they'd be looked at as like, oh my god, this is so meta changing. But
Right.
just because it was like 4 people who were like not even big names. Creo was pretty big at the time, but just like 4 people who were already under controversy with like Creo,
Right.
with the whole scamming thing with the Raven skin and everything.
Oh,
It's just
God.
like, if Bucke did the same thing, the announcers would be like, oh my gosh, this is game changing, meta changing. I cannot believe Bucke thought of this. And then we
Yeah.
just got banned. So honestly,
That's
I
crazy.
For sure.
100% would do it again.
Whether or not you think Bucke and his duo were actually cheating is up to you.
Probably
Comment
were.
down below what you guys think. Luckily, this ban was only for 60 days, and
That's
once
so
that was
long,
lifted,
though.
he got right back onto the competitive Fortnite grind. Regardless of the negative attention that this ban brought for Bucke, he was still incredibly popular among other players
Right.
and Fortnite fans.
He's still popular now,
So
too.
Bucke decided to keep grinding streaming and YouTube as well, and was uploading and streaming more than he ever had before. Things were going so well, in fact, that at just 16 years old, Bucke decided to move away from home and go to a house in Virginia with some fellow Fortnite pros in order to have zero ping while playing. Not
Nice.
long after moving to this Virginia house, however, Bucke would start playing
Who was
trios with a player that would change the trajectory of his career, and his name was Clicks.
Clicks,
On
the
August
Clickster.
31st of 2021, it was made official. Bucke would be joining the NRG Fortnite team alongside other pros like his friend Clicks and Ronaldo. And
Nice.
Bucke's stream announcing this was his most viewed stream ever to this point. He had a peak viewership of 23,000 viewers, which was massive. I mean, Bucke was living out his dream, getting to be a pro player and entertain his fans as a content creator. And from here, there was nowhere to go but up. Bucke just signed with one of the biggest esports teams in Fortnite.
That's cool,
People
man.
were flocking to his Twitch to see what would the new member of NRG do next. Many people loved Bucke for his blunt sense of humor.
Oh,
he
gosh.
was loud and obnoxious, always screaming,
He's funny, though.
and always had something to say.
God, Clicks has a big head, dude.
Yes, you are, bro. You're horrendous, bro. You're horrendous, bro. You're horrendous. What's your best grand placement?
Oh my god, Cyro's dead! Where's my siphon? Oh my god! Bro, Get over here! Can't run from me!
Oh my gosh.
She wants you.
Dang.
Somerset wants me!
At one,
Shoot.
just subscribe.
Somerset has to want me after that. What I just did to Blake.
But instead of taking
That shit is
advantage of all
really
the hype
bad.
that he gained from signing with NRG, Bucke stopped streaming consistently. From September 1st, 2021 to June 1st of 2022, Bucke would only stream 36 times. And this is what Bucke had to say about that.
Is when I started getting off my grind a little bit, so it had its pros and cons.
To be honest, it makes sense. I mean, you have to realize Bucke was a teenager at this time, living with some of his best friends and experiencing all these new things in life. I guess he just got a little bit tired of the grind, and that let things slip away from him. Because of all of this and some other factors, in September of 2022, Bucke leaves the NRG house for good. He made an announcement on Twitter saying, "Leaving the NRG house today, don't know what the future holds."
They just kind of dropped him
And then
without telling
on
him,
November
which was
28th
funny.
of that same year,
But, like,
it's
messed up too at the
announced
same
that
time.
Bucke will be
Yeah,
leaving
they didn't even tell
NRG
him.
as well forever. The announcement was made by way of NRG's alt Twitter account, not even their main account. Since Bucke never stated the exact reason for why he was dropped, people began to speculate. Some pointed out that NRG's Fortnite team was slowly dying, and others blamed it on
Yeah.
Bucke's controversial nature. However, Bucke did go live and talk a little bit about what happened with him being dropped.
Fortunately, this morning I got a call from my manager, and I got released from my contract. I'm a free agent now. I'm broke. I'm gonna have to move out. I mean, I love living with Cody and all them, bro, but I just currently don't have the funds. They didn't believe in me anymore, chat. It sucks, you know what I mean? It hurts to say, it hurts to accept that, but it's the reality, man. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I can promise you guys it's not gonna be phased. I'm gonna make sure we find a good home, chat.
With all the
Damn.
mystery surrounding these events, I had to ask. Could you give us some more insight on what went down with NRG? And if NRG was listening to this video, what would you want to say to them?
Oh, so first of all, I love everyone at NRG. Grady, Rye, all of them, they were like the most amazing people. I've never been treated so well in org while in the org. But everything really started to spiral bad. I don't know how much I can get to it on stream, but it was after the Andrew Tate stream that we did. That's when everything got really bad with NRG, and we weren't able to work with like a lot of sponsors and stuff. And then that's when, you know, they couldn't pay for the house anymore. So then we moved out of the house and everything. And I was getting into like more and more controversy on my own, and they ended up dropping like the whole entire roster, and I was unfortunately the first to go.
You see,
Oh my
Bucke
gosh.
isn't like a lot of other creators. He really does not care what others think about him. And although going on a stream with one of the most controversial figures in the world
Yeah.
is a very dangerous thing to do as a content creator, Bucke was never going to back down from an opportunity to make the craziest content in the world. Regardless of
Facts.
the
That's
official
crazy,
reasoning
though.
why he
I would
left
never-
NRG, however, Bucke was now a free agent. And after he left NRG, his content started to get even more wild.
Oh God. What the hell?
Oh, no, I feel like she's playing hard to get,
They
bro.
let him go, dude. He wasn't on that leash anymore.
I got a message for you too, Deuce!
But this left me with the question, is this the real Bucke? Or is this
Nah,
just
he's actually
some kind
low-key
of
really
made
nice,
up
I
online
bet.
persona?
I would say I don't want to start like dogging on like other streamers and stuff like that, but I would just say there is a lot of streamers that blow up off of like completely faking content and doing the most fake stuff on stream. I am like 100% authentic and real about what I put on stream, like all the relationships and any drama or anything like that. I'm like so like real about what I put on stream. The only thing that I do on stream is I exaggerate my personality so much. Like I'll down 20 mods for getting on stream, so I have high energy. I don't think any streams are entertaining when you're sitting there and like, you know, you're barely talking, stuff like that. You have no energy. So I
Right.
definitely take a lot of caffeine, a little bit of sugar too, to like really get the energy levels up. But other than that, I've never done any fake stuff on stream. Like I do the most real shit on the planet.
Realist
While all of his
shit.
content stuff was going on, Bucke was also still competing at a very high level in competitive Fortnite. However, many of his haters would say that he wasn't good anymore. Bucke would admit himself that he stopped grinding, but that doesn't mean he couldn't qualify for the world's biggest tournaments.
Seriously.
And at the start of the following year, Bucke would have an opportunity to show he was still one of the best in the game. On January 11th of 2023, Epic Games announced a huge new in-person FNCS tournament, the FNCS Global Championship, which would take place in Copenhagen, Denmark. Bucke and his duo partner Okis decided that they were going to Copenhagen no matter what
Okis course, the GOAT.
States. With the structure of this tournament, players had 4 different opportunities to qualify for the Global Championship. Major 1, Major 2, Major 3, and the Last Chance Major. And for the first 2 majors, Bucke did not come close at all to qualifying. But in Major 3, Bucke and Oakes clutched up, qualifying a spot to continue on to Copenhagen. This was a huge win for Bucke and showed the Fortnite world that he was still a force to be reckoned with. Unfortunately, however, this high didn't last very long because once Bucke arrived in Copenhagen, the company that was running the tournament, Blast, immediately disqualified him. To say this was shocking for Bucke and his fans would be an understatement. They didn't even tell Bucke why he was disqualified, but they made him immediately leave the country. At
he
first,
did some
Bucke
stuff.
claimed that he thinks he was disqualified because he adjusted the vibrancy setting on his PC at the event. Other people thought that it could be because he said some weird things about a Blast employee on his stream.
Like, there's this like blonde, bro, or no, she's a brunette, bro. She's just like this little brunette, like Epic employee, bro. And me and her, bro, we been. I'm telling you, bro, I got everything under control, bro. I'm making connections stuff, bro.
And some people thought that he was acting inappropriately, like drinking and smoking in places where it wasn't allowed. However, he eventually learned that the official reason he got banned was because he broke Section 8 of the Conduct Code, No Toxic Behavior. This was very vague, and Blast never clarified what exactly his toxic
I didn't know
behavior
that,
actually was.
I thought it was because
Fortunately
of alcohol
for us,
stuff.
however, I can just ask him.
You know, I have to ask this. We are obviously going to talk a little bit about what happened in Copenhagen.
I wasn't told the official statement until about a month ago when I got in a really good Epic contact.
Would you be down to like share that with the YouTube world?
Holy smokes. Yeah, I was disqualified for, you know, making inappropriate comments about Epic employees and women on stream.
Unfortunately, Bucke's teammate Oakes was left to compete in the Duos Global Championship as a solo.
A year worth of work, bro, gone.
That's
A year
sad,
worth
man.
of
I'm
work
sorry,
gone.
Oakes.
I gotta cry.
That's right.
I gotta-
Make some more noise.
Obviously, you and Oakes are cool now. That's pretty obvious. But like, did that like?
I mean,
put a,
Oakes are playing in FNCS
rift in
now, I
your
think, actually.
relationship? Was that like a difficult conversation for you to have with Oakes?
Yeah, I mean, I think after Copenhagen, I don't think anything will ever be like the same, I guess. I think there's always like a little bit, I don't think he has like resentment towards me. He's just kind of like, it's just always like something that I'll always just feel so bad like that I did to him. And just not been the
That's
same
so
since Copenhagen. I
sad,
would say
dude.
we are like super good friends, but like, I mean, we were way closer, you know, before Copenhagen.
For sure. Is that something that like, you know, eats at you a little bit?
I know it's the biggest regret of my entire, like that was by far like getting kicked off that flight, and my like they literally sent me out of the country in like 2 hours, and like I sat on a plane ride by myself. My phone was dead too. They just sent me to Chicago, not even straight back to Dallas. And I sat in a 9-hour plane ride staring at a wall for 9 hours, just thinking about everything. Like it was the thoughts that go through your head. It's just like I felt like I was in like prison. Like imagine being in prison and just staring at a wall, like, and just knowing you're just sitting in there and you're just
That's
like
so
that's just how
messed
it was
up.
the worst feeling on the entire planet. And then after that, like nothing ever felt the same, because right after that, me and my girlfriend broke up and stuff, and then I had to go back to Michigan for like, you know, family issues, and it was the worst 2 months of my entire life. And the past 5 months have not been getting much better. So I'm really hoping
Poor
for
Bucke.
just a big breakthrough. Maybe a leprechaun comes and knocks on my door and, you know, gives me some great luck, because I need something.
Most
What?
recently
That's so
for
weird.
Bucke, on February 12th of 2024, he joined a new organization called Agent Gaming. He joined Agent at the same time as fellow pro player Peterbot, and they just moved into a massive mansion on Zero Ping in Dallas.
What's next for Bucke?
I want to focus on right now is, you know, Agent. I just moved into the Agent house, and everything's kind of like getting started up right now with the org, and we're really like trying to take things to the next level. So I'm kind of focused on not only just like my content, but like everyone in the house kind of like growing up to like together. We want to start doing YouTube vlogs, all that different stuff, and like really we want to transform content and make it bigger than what Fortnite even was. So we want to do so much like YouTube and stuff. And my biggest focus on Agent, and then I also want to obviously take my content next level. I want to make sure I can get back into the, you know, fully streaming like 8 hours a day, get close to my community again over the summertime when everyone gets out of school, and then really lock in on Fortnite. And I
Nice.
want to make sure that I just like build my community to where it's a point where like I really can do it for 10 years. That's like my biggest goal.
There you
Hell
have
yeah,
it,
dude.
folks. Bucke FPS. In my opinion, one of, if not the most entertaining creators in Fortnite and beyond.
Bucky's good, man.
And
Bucke,
what's his
I think he
secret?
has, like,
Well,
potential.
From this video, we can tell it's just being himself. You can say what
Agent,
you want
though,
about
is gone,
Bucke
so-
and the
and
way
he
that
just
he's
signed to a
acted,
new org,
but
which is cool.
one thing you can't accuse him of is being fake. What I'm taking away from doing this interview, and what I hope you guys take away as well, is that no matter what circumstances happen around you, you can only control yourself and your own actions and be unapologetically you.
You have a good one, all right?
Yeah, of course. You as well. Have a good one, chat.
Yeah.
And
That
Bucke,
was
be
dope.
good, guys. Be safe.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And if there's a video you want to see, let me know down in the comments below. Peace.